The Nuba.
Go ahead and
The NBA.
Where do you want to start? You want to talk news?
What do
free
you want to
agency,
start? What do you want to start
or
with?
draft?
Which
I don't have
one?
anything to say. I'm not a fan anymore. I just watch basketball.
You're not you're no longer a Charlotte Hornets fan.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I have no reason to watch. No reason to pull for them. No reason to care anymore. I didn't have any reason to begin with, and that's me in my Browns shirt here. Only thing I have to do now, Hunters, is pull for LeBron not to get 7 championships.
Yeah, that's all you have to do now.
That's all I have.
That's all you can hold on to.
I
will say this.
Awful.
I'll start with free agency, and then I will go into the draft. Free agency-wise, damn, it sure does seem like the Lakers have the deepest pockets whatsoever. They're just pulling in players left and right. Marc Gasol's there now. They went out and traded for Dennis Schroeder. They were able to re-sign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I just feel, for some reason, me looking at the names that the Lakers were bringing in, those guys got to be taking some sort of deal or cut, right, because they're like, we're ring chasing at this point.
Right, and they all are. I knew this was going to happen because nobody wants to play and be on LeBron's team and be blamed for losing.
Mm-hmm.
So he wins the asterisk title in a ballroom, and then now all of a sudden everybody who's made money over their lives are like, well, I'll take a pay cut to come there. And
has the NBA said whether or not they're going to do the ballroom type look again next year?
I'm sure they're not
for their playoffs, because you've heard about there's still going to be a play-in tournament to get into the playoffs.
I haven't looked at all that.
Yes.
Yeah, are they still?
Yes, there's still going to be a play-in.
Coach K, we talked a little bit earlier about college. Did you see what they were thinking about doing? They were thinking about having the tournament in one spot.
Yeah,
we talked about that would happen with 64
teams,
schools,
good
or 68 schools.
I have no idea.
They'd have to do home games first round, maybe even first
somewhere.
2 rounds.
But for the NBA,
the bubble.
They might do the bubble, but I'll say this about, again, on free agency. So the Lakers got to be pulling money out their ass somewhere, first of all. But the second thing I wanted to say is, I think Atlanta got a lot better for some reason.
I'll tell you what, I know what's going on. Sorry, I just from running a NBA 2K general manager on the video game. Here's what's going on. So Davis hasn't re-signed.
No, he hasn't.
Because here's how the cap works: you can re-sign your players for whatever you want if it goes over the cap. You can't sign other players if you're over the cap. So what Davis is doing is not signing.
He's letting them get other players, and then he'll get it paid.
So let's say Hunter, without Davis, they have $70 million spent, caps 100, right? So let's just do that.
So they can get the next few players for $30 million to hit the 100, and then pay him whatever he wants.
If they paid Davis first, and he went over to $105 million,
they can't get nobody.
They can't sign people outside their team for more than the exception.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is he didn't sign, then that $30 million from 70 to 100, they can spend on whoever they want up to 99 or up to 99 million, and then Davis can sign for 35 million. And now their cap will be 136 instead of the 100. So that's what they're doing is getting him not to sign yet and then using that extra $30 million to squeeze everybody they can.
Shit, if I was somebody else, I know he wants to go back to Lakers, I would overpay just so he don't go back.
You can't in the NBA.
If you have the space,
it's structured. What I mean is it's structured. Like the way their contracts are set up, Hunter, is that his best deal this year. Watch him if he takes a 1 or 2 year deal, is because after so many years in the league, you can get the supermax.
Yes,
and the supermax is like $45 million instead of $35 million. So if he takes 35 next year and then re-ups for the supermax after it's like 10 years of play or whatever it is, you can re-up. So another team can't offer more money. Like, say,
than what he's worth.
Than what he can. Right. They can't offer him. Like, if he can get 45 from LA, the Knicks can't. We'll give you 65. So that's why basketball can't happen that way. You have a lot of ask for trades and they got to match up because it just can't work like that. So I don't know, man. I like Kevin Durant. I don't like Kyrie Irving on this team. at all. I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan.
So, what, you just spot up trade? See if you can move him for
But
James
they're not
Harden?
going to because they're best friends.
I know they teamed up
I'd
together.
rather have Harden than Kyrie any day of the week.
Listen, I'll say this, though. Out of all the teams in the East that made moves in this, to me, Atlanta's been the one that's gotten better. And that's crazy because of how bad the Atlanta Hawks have done so far. But, I mean, they went out there and got veteran leadership in Rondo. I liked the Okongwu draft that they made for him. They've been making some moves, too. One thing we've had a problem with the Hawks is they have been so young. But one thing that they've done now is tried to mix in veteran leadership. And that's what's really going to be good for them going forward. They're still going to have, Trae Young out there shooting up 45-foot jump shots.
Why did Rondo sign with them? That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe he wanted the money.
That's like so my theory on I said it Saturday, but I'll see what you think. I don't understand why Rondo would sign there as a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not ring chasing? He's not like
unless he's happy that he got this one and said
he's already got
money.
He
got one.
two.
He got two. He got one in Boston.
But like, think about it. What's he choosing? He's not going to be a starter. He's going to be a backup on a team that may make the playoffs, not even contend for a title.
Yeah.
So like, what's his game there? Is it just whoever would give me the most money? Is that what he?
I think that's what he was really looking for.
It may be, and I don't want to hate. I'm not going to hate on it. It's just weird. That's the same thing with you see Howard signing in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he sign up to be Embiid's backup?
They just got Bogdanovich as well in Atlanta,
right?
Because he couldn't make it to Milwaukee.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He's
with Sacramento now, or from Sacramento now. He's in Atlanta, so
right.
that's another score that they've got.
Right.
I've just looked at all of these moves that Atlanta has been able to, or not really moves, just people that have wanted to sign with them, and I'm just like, hey, that's great for you because you've got the young nucleus right there. You've got the Cam Reddish that you drafted out of Duke and the kid out of Virginia. I don't know why his name's escaping me that you drafted year before, and Trae Young and the Okongwu that you brought in this year. And bringing in a veteran point guard, because this is what the difference is. Trae Young can score a lot, but Rondo's going to come in there and be your assist guy. He's going to be your facilitator and more of a floor general than Trae Young is, and Trae Young can learn from him. So they got a real opportunity to fight for the 8th seed. I feel like, and I know people are saying, oh, well, it's just the 8th seed. They're going to get bounced in the first round. For some of these teams, just being able to make the playoffs is a great sign compared to what you were last year.
That's what I don't like. Listen, people need to listen to Hornets fans more often. We're the experts on this. I'd rather make the playoffs and be the 10 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, than have the 10th pick. Because if I make the playoffs, I'm getting the 16th pick. What the hell's the difference between 10 and 16?
And you could say you at least made the playoffs.
But people are like, don't sign Hayward or don't sign Russell Westbrook and build your team. We've been building our team for 30 fucking years, Hunter. I'm tired of it.
First of all, let me address
stupid.
the Gordon Hayward hate. Did you see what Skip Bayless tweeted?
No, maybe I did, maybe not. I don't know.
Because I commented on it. I don't know if you had saw my comment.
What was wrong with
Essentially, he said Michael Jordan was overpaid for him, which I can agree on the overpaying, but he said to pander to a demographic. He was pulling the fucking race card on because he was pulling the race card because Michael Jordan signed a player that was white for a big contract.
I did see, and I saw Max Kellerman say, I'm just surprised he didn't pick a Tar Heel. How many Tar Heels did he pick?
He hasn't picked any Tar Heels. I saw Max Kellerman say that exact same shit.
Like what Tar Heels are on his roster?
Do you guys pay attention to the league?
Name one Tar Heel on their roster.
They don't have a Tar Heel on their roster.
So I'm like,
they got a Kentucky player on their roster. They got a Kansas player on their roster.
Right.
They don't have a Tar Heel player.
In fact, what's funny about that, though, Hunter, if he only drafted ACC guys, he would have probably a decent team right now.
Yes, because he drafted Duke players, Florida State players. That's what I'm saying.
If he would have just drafted ACC guys, instead of taking chances on people he's never seen play before, like Lamelo Ball.
Lamelo didn't even play college basketball.
Right.
He played overseas.
So,
I hated that take so much by Skip. Like, how... So people are so quick-triggered to pull that race card out.
Well,
What did he mean by demographic? White people gonna go watch the game regardless who you bring in. Shit, I'm just happy you brought in somebody that can actually kind of play.
That's weird. I mean, Hayward.
Shit, man.
I don't know anybody who's like, I'm gonna go watch Gordon Hayward play because he's white.
I don't know
that's
anybody.
That's the weirdest stuff ever. Like
If anything, you look at Gordon Hayward and you say, "Wow." They say it more like this: "Wow, I can't believe a white boy's playing like that." That's exactly how they talk about it.
I'll explain his contract and all that stuff. Like as far as Charlotte's concerned,
I'm glad they just waived Nick Batum to even make the con. I feel like they should have done that a year or two ago.
See, but here's the problem with that: they couldn't do it a year or two ago because you have to. Okay, NBA contracts are guaranteed.
Right.
So Batum's owed $27 million.
Mm-hmm.
If they did it last year, they would have owed him $50 million. And you have to spread it. When you cut see, in the NFL, you can just cut somebody and not pay them.
Right.
In the NBA, if you cut them, you still got to pay them. So when they cut Batum, they spread it over 3 years. So it's 999. So they saved $18 million on the cap to get Hayward in there. So that's how that worked for that. Now, the reason they wouldn't do it last year, Hunter, split up 54 divided by 3.
Yeah, that's big.
Now it's 18 million on your cap for 3 years. So that's they shot themselves in the foot with that pick. Now,
Well, they shot themselves in the foot. Yes, bringing him in. But regardless of the fact, he's out of the building now.
Right.
So that's
He's
good.
gone. Marvin Williams is gone. MKG is gone. Those are good.
Biombo
good
not
signs.
gone.
Yeah. Why the fuck? They love him.
I guess it's just because he hustle hard. Sometimes you got to have that guy. Like, why do you think Terry sits here and loves Draymond? Like, he does some shit.
All 7 points of his.
He just hustles. So whatever.
7 points.
But I liked the Gordon Hayward signing, and I know you said it. It's like, well, this was really 5 years too late. You know what? I can agree on that because I wish.
And that's not their fault.
That's no, that's not their fault. Utah matched them. That's the truth. But Gordon got screwed in Boston by really two things. The first one was injuries. He became very injury prone when he was with the Celtics. And so he couldn't really ever be in the rotation for a while. And because of his injuries, what did that allow to happen? The emergence of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Because those two essentially took over his spot, his role.
Well, yeah, there's no room.
There's no room for him.
See, they would have done.
Gordon Hayward thrived and was a fringe all-star in the West on Utah because he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think me and you can sit here and say he's now first scoring option in Charlotte right now, correct?
Right.
So I think he can get back to that. Whether he gets close or not, I have no problem with that.
Here's what
because it's either him or Devontae Graham that are going to be the scorers. Because I think LaMelo comes in and is a facilitator. I think that's what he does. And you know what? That'd be fine.
Man, if I was a coach, I honestly don't know what I'd do with this damn team. Like I just don't.
Well, technically, you got 1 through 3 figured out. It's either going to be Graham or LaMelo at 1, Graham or LaMelo at 2, and then Hayward at 3. Other than that, you got to have your 2 bigs.
What, Terry?
I'm
He's
serious.
$19 million a year.
I'm looking at you, and I'm going to say this. I want them to move off Terry and get a big man.
I agree, but they haven't yet.
I know they haven't yet.
And so here's the Hayward thing. To people live in this world where they think everything's equal, and it's not. Charlotte has to overpay free agents, right?
That's exactly right.
So
they cannot help that. That is Charlotte.
That's step 1 in this process of Hayward, whether he deserves $30 million or not. If Cody Zeller deserves $10 million a year being a backup center, I think Hayward deserves close to 30 being a
starter.
Now, here's what's crazy about it is Gordon Hayward just signed for more money than Shaq got with the Lakers.
Gordon Hayward signed the largest contract in Hornets history.
And that's one thing the kids today need to do in the league that they never do. Don't they need to thank Michael Jordan
for getting the money that he got?
If it wasn't for him and the guys before them, and Michael thanked the Birds and the Magics, if it wasn't for the guys before you, you wouldn't be getting paid what you're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Think about if you're Michael, the owner of a team, and you have to write a check to Gordon Hayward
more than you
ever got paid, or right at the same as you got paid, and you're Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it that way, yes, it's overpaying it. But then when you look at it this way, if they don't pay him $120, somebody's going to pay him $100.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't have nobody that can score 15, 20 points a game. We don't have a shooter.
Well, see, that's how I'm looking at it is I think LaMelo is going to be able to score anywhere between 12 to 15. I'm not saying because we know he's not going to be.
Here?
Yeah. Yes.
Hunter.
Yes.
He's not going to.
Kevin, he can get at least to the rim. This is not just
what
a
position is
shooter's
he
league.
playing?
He's either playing shooting guard or point guard.
What position is Devontae Graham playing?
He's either shooting guard or point guard. And what does Devontae Graham average last year? 19 points, something, so almost 20 points.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this and saying you're close to your 60-point mark because even if Devontae scores 20, Hayward scores 20, and say LaMelo gets 12,
I would be surprised.
then that's at least 52.
I'll be surprised.
You're close to
Hunter,
your 60 mark.
if LaMelo averages 10 points a game in his NBA career.
Oh, what? 10 points a game in his career?
I'll be surprised.
He gets it.
I'll be 100%
He gets it.
surprised if he gets.
He gets
10
it
points
because
a
he's
game.
better than Lonzo. He'll get it. He'll get
What's
it.
he better at than Lonzo?
He is a better scorer than Lonzo.
Okay.
Lonzo is known for facilitating and defense. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to shoot the lights out, but he can, average 12 to 15?
They play one-on-one right now. Who wins?
Probably LaMelo. Well, the problem is LaMelo still has a baby boy body. Lonzo in his second year when he got into the offseason put some weight on him.
It's been 3 years. Here's Lonzo's averages.
Probably
10, 6, and 6. Now, that right there is exactly what I would expect from the other kid. I just guessed 10 points a game, Hunter, without even knowing, and that's what his brother's averaging. Like his game, I don't know what scouts are looking at. How do you say this, Hunter? He can't shoot. Not only can he not make the shots, his shot is awful and it's broke. Then he can't guard anybody he's going to be out there playing against.
Right.
So let's take him third. Did you see what the Spurs did at 11?
No. I don't remember what
They
did.
took the kid Vassell from Florida
State.
You know what his scouting report was?
He's good.
Same height.
He's good.
He's a 45% three-point shooter who can guard anyone.
He's good. I like Vassell out of Florida State.
Why is he not? Why didn't we pick him instead?
He's good.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. This guy's 6'7". He can shoot and play defense. This guy's 6'7". He can't shoot and he can't play defense, but he's better. I know I'm not asking you. I'm just saying, how does anyone how do the scouting reports look at that and say that? What do you see from LaMelo Ball that says he's better than Vassell or he's better than Toppin or he's better than anybody? They say he can't shoot and can't play defense.
Listen.
That's like the two things in basketball you do.
You know who else can't shoot and is a semi-good defensive player when he came in? Still can't shoot. Ben Simmons.
That's very true.
Ben Simmons is 6'10". Now he's 3 inches taller. But Ben Simmons, even in his rookie year, averaged 15, almost 16 points a game. Mm-hmm. This league, you can still score when you drive the lane. The difference is that's why I'm saying, though, as well, in this, you really don't have to ask LaMelo to score a whole lot. You could run
you're right. He don't have to.
He can be the facilitator.
But they don't have. Their problem is, Hunter, their best scorer is another point guard.
Yes. Well, you could move him at shooting guard, and I think he'd be just as good.
Okay. Well, if you move.
Because LaMelo's a better passer than Devontae.
All right, put it this way. You put both of those in the game. You got Graham and Melo in the game.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the Nets put KD at the 2?
It doesn't matter. You can still move whoever is at the...
You get smoked.
It's called matchups. You don't just match up a 1-on-1 and a 2-on-2. That's what I'm saying.
Hunter,
You can move anybody.
If they put KD at 2, you have to take one of those other two guys off the floor. Right?
Yeah, but they're not running KD at no 2.
He's played 2 plenty of times.
He's played 4 and 3 more than anywhere.
He plays 2 to 4, depending on the matchup. I'm saying if you're the Nets and the Hornets walk out there with Ball and Graham, I'm putting KD at the 2 and be like, fuck
yeah,
y'all,
but in this case, Kevin, Charlotte ain't winning shit no way, so it doesn't matter which one he plays at.
No.
And here's the thing. Let Kevin Durant go off for 30 or 40. If nobody else on that team can score, it really don't matter.
Well, Hunter, I don't. Okay.
If nobody else on that Nets team can score, it really don't matter.
So LaMelo's shutting down Kyrie too.
Listen. There's nobody on any team in the NBA. So what you said was almost like to the extreme. Nobody's shutting down Kevin Durant, no matter who guards him. Nobody's shutting down Kyrie unless they're bigger than he is and can body him up. So that analogy right there it's a lose-lose either way if you're the Hornets.
No, what I'm saying is that if they have Durant at the 3 or 4, you can play PJ, Miles Bridges.
You're
can play
right.
Gordon Hayward.
You're right.
If you put Durant at the 2 and everyone else on the floor is 7 foot, and then you've got Kyrie out there, Hornets have no prayer of offense or defense. Because you want Durant guarding LaMelo. What's he going to do on that?
I mean, Lamelo can just give the ball up. Yeah, I'm just
this
saying.
This is a garbage-ass team and organization.
We can
That's my
agree.
point.
We can agree on that. I'm just saying the kid hadn't even.
This is the worst pick in NBA history.
It is not. It is not, and you know it's not.
It is the worst pick.
It is not
ever.
And you know what? I'm gonna laugh my ass off to the bank if in his rookie year he at least averages 15.
Hunter, I'll bet that right. What the fuck?
If he averages 15,
his brother that he's not better than.
Who? Whoa! Who said that he's not better than Lonzo?
I am.
Are you a professional NBA scout?
But they're doing a horrible job.
I'm just saying.
Anthony Bennett got picked number 1.
I'm just saying.
Sam Bowie got picked over Michael Jordan.
Exactly, and you're trying to say this is a worst pick ever.
No, what I'm saying is that scouts are dumbasses that say things like, listen to this. Okay, Hunter. We had the 3rd pick, right? And everybody says,
I know.
And everybody says this is the 3 players are the best players in the draft, right? And what they said was that no matter what Charlotte did, they were going to get one of the top 3. Well, don't you think the other 2 are going to pick the 2 better players? So we end up with this shit of the 3 best players who can't shoot and can't play defense. What's he going to do? Everybody says he's a playmaker. So this is the best case scenario, Hunter. LaMelo dribbles around, he drives to the basket, and then he kicks it to someone else. That's the 3rd pick in the draft. That's what I mean. Like, you got to get 25 points from the 3rd pick. 20 points. We're getting 10. They'll never.
Nobody in this draft, though, is getting 20.
This is the most hot garbage thing of all time.
No.
This is worse than MKG.
Listen.
This is worse than MKG.
Listen.
MKG could at least guard somebody. Technically. Kind of. He wasn't a great defender that he made him out to be. But damn.
This pick is not going to be as bad as you think it is. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not sitting here trying to make you think it's going to be a great pick. It's not bad. You got to start somewhere.
Who'd y'all pick?
We picked Avdija.
Yeah, better than we got. You let me go read the scouting reports. You keep over. I'm gonna read the scouting reports.
Okay, we can read scouting reports all the time. But how many scouting reports have been wrong?
You just told me.
How many times have we sat here and said these scouting reports have been wrong? Everybody thought, they just talked. Chris just made a great point. They thought Greg Oden was going to be the shit,
right?
And he just wasn't,
right? And they think LaMelo is going to be, and he's not. I've seen this dance before. I've seen this movie plenty of times. I can see when a player's going to. His brother Hunter is 10, 6, and 6. If you get 10, 6, and 6 him, that's fine. At the 10th pick or the 15th pick. But number 3, Avdija, man. I gotta find that thing I was reading. It was incredible. Like reading everyone behind him was just like, this is what happened. I don't think it's on ESPN. Let's see. Draft grades. That's probably what I should pick, shouldn't I? MKG got a A- draft grade back in the day.
He'll be better than you think he is. For his role, he will be better than you think it is. And here's the thing: what are you really expecting this year, anyways, as a rookie? I mean, he could always get better.
No.
Well, okay.
No.
Yeah, no.
I don't expect any. No. I don't expect anything from rookies. I don't expect anybody to help anybody win a championship this year
in a rookie season.
No. But again,
I mean, you never know. He could get better. Lonzo's shot was a whole lot worse looking when he came in the league than when he got around some of these people that actually knew what the hell they were doing. But then that comes back to me.
Is Lonzo ever going to make an all-star team?
I mean, I don't know.
No.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter now. That team's not even his. He can't even throw. Like, his job is essentially to just be a facilitator to Zion and Brandon Ingram.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
But
Magic Johnson
doesn't work.
Said they're going to put Lonzo's jersey in the rafters at the Staples Center when he drafted.
And then when Magic got out of there, they traded Lonzo.
And then guess what? Michael got him. Got his little brother. Same player. Exact same. The only difference is that he's got longer hair. That's
LaMelo will be better than Lonzo.
At what?
He will be a better scorer than Lonzo, and he will be, if not the same, just as good as a facilitator than Lonzo. And here's the thing now, with you bringing in Gordon Hayward, you're not asking LaMelo to go out there and be a scorer. He can be a little bit more of a facilitator. I mean, the guy's you can bring him in and they can learn. I mean, he can try and get better at scoring as maybe a year or two goes on. Not many people walk into the league and are Zion and John Morant and they get 20 points per game.
I want to buy a jersey that I wouldn't be embarrassed for my kid to wear.
You can buy Gordon Hayward's jersey.
Maybe.
You can buy Devontae Graham's jersey. I like Devontae Graham. He was a guy that stayed 3 to 4 years in college and came out and worked his way up through the G League and got it.
I'm not saying I don't like Graham. I do like Graham. He's good value. See, that's great value.
My baby
Hunter,
cousin has
in the second round.
Yeah.
Devontae Graham in his second year, or was it first year? Averaged 19 and 8.
Oh yeah, and he should have
So
won
are we
most
getting
improved.
that from the number 3 pick this year?
What, this year?
19 and 8. Are we getting 19 and 8
As a rookie? I don't know.
Graham did.
Not in his second year, or not in his first year. He was in the G League.
Well, his first year in the NBA.
His first year, yes, in the NBA.
He went 19 and 8. Will we get that from our number 3 pick? Yes or no?
No, but you might get 12 and 10.
We can pick in the second round a guy that gets 19 and 8, but we can't do it with the 3 pick. That's what I want. I want 19 and 8.
Well, Kevin, I don't know if he could because he has to go through this whole off season of workouts. Actually, it's a shorter off season, so he's just going to be thrown in there. It's just going to be so different for all these rookies. Not everybody just walks in the league as a Zion or Ja last year and average 20 plus.
All of his highlights this year will be, I would say 90% of LaMelo's highlights will be alley-oops to Miles Bridges. And that's it.
That'd be fun
Hey,
to
guys,
watch.
we're going to go to the game. I'm going to take my kids, my cousins. Y'all want to go see LaMelo play? He's going to throw a heck of a pass in the third quarter to Miles Bridges. We're going to spend 2 hours at a ball game.
Hey,
we're going to buy tickets.
Lob
we'll spend
City just made its way to the East Coast.
Ball.
That is what the Clippers were. Lob City from Chris Paul to Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan.
You know what I hope? This is my dream, Hunter. You ready?
I hope LaMelo Ball goes out there and plays great this year and averages 15.
He didn't average 15 in Australia. How's he going to do it in the NBA? Explain that. Please explain that to me. Against grown-ass men in Australia who can't jump higher than 12 inches, he couldn't get 15 points a game, and he averaged 26 from 3. But in the NBA, where they play real defense and have, like, long people who can move, he's going to double up his stats on those guys.
He'll do it. Give him a shot.
Here's my dream scenario. You ready? Michael, first day of practice. Calls him in. You and me, son, one-on-one. Michael beats him 11-1 and says, that was for your fucking daddy. I'm trading you to Sacramento right now. Get the hell out of here. Peace!
No, that ain't going to happen.
Perfect scenario. Michael gets his revenge because he would smoke LaMelo Ball right now, Matt, one-on-one. 55 years old would smoke LaMelo.
Nah.
If you get beat by your owner at basketball, you shouldn't be drafted. LaMelo couldn't beat him. Not right now. Maybe in 5 years.
Not right now.
No.
That's the whole point. We don't give these guys any time to try and develop.
A 19-year-old number 3 pick should be able to beat a 55-year-old man. That's just all
a 55-year-old man. I'm not all 55-year-old men are Michael fucking Jordan.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you're the third pick in the draft, Hunter, at 19 years old, maybe you should be able to beat a 55-year-old.
Michael Jordan was beating a guy even in his 40s.
Right.
So, he probably can beat half the people on that team. That's what I'm saying. He could probably still beat anybody on that team. One-on-one. Probably even Devontae.
Nah.
He probably couldn't beat Gordon.
He couldn't stay in front. Yeah, he can beat Gordon. He couldn't stay in front of... He would have... I'll tell you who he'd have trouble with. Miles Bridges and Devontae.
Well, Miles' athleticism is ridiculous, and Devontae would just spot up shoot him.
Because this is what he'd do to Gordon. He would just back him in and do fadeaways on him all day. He can guard Gordon, probably. I don't think he can stay in front
of...
At
55?
Right now, yeah. Gordon's got a broke leg.
He ain't hurt.
Well, Jordan ain't either.
Like,
who's Hayward going by, Hunter? In fact, Hayward might not even get the ball if he lets Jordan score. First, you play make it, take it. Do they play make it, take it when you go one-on-one?
Depends.